Hello and welcome back to Offsite Dirt Network. This is the high performance build segment. My name is Mark Wille, and I think you recognize the gentleman next to me, Paul Atherton with Highspire, and hopefully you saw the first video that we did. How's it going today, Paul?
Excellent. How are you
All
doing today?
right. So we had a conversation right after our first recording, and it leads us to a part two. And the question posed was, what is the most critical? What is the most important role uh, in a construction company to be successful? That's the question at hand. And I know you got some slides already queued up, so we could get right into it because you guys play a big part in this training and support for your clients.
Yeah, exactly. Um, one of the things that you'll see is in any construction company, every owner at some point thinks maybe there's a way to build up a company that has a full leadership team and operates at, say, four times our current revenue or five times our current revenue.
Wow.
Or you have companies that have already maybe they've done that, but they think maybe there's a way to do this better, and they always feel like there's friction. It's a lot of things that must take place to do this well. But the one activity that every owner absolutely must sniper fire and execute with uh, precision,
Yeah.
who they hire to run their operations. So I think we said last time there's five levels to running a construction company. Level one, chucking the truck. You're out there doing odd jobs. Level two, and this is where most construction companies stay. The owner is managing sales, marketing, operations, finance. They're leaders, HR, everything. They're doing everything. The next big jump is to get to level three, and this is where the owner is managing sales only. And they have someone managing operations and someone managing their financial controls. And when you have a company that's executing their operations, they're conducting business at level three. It's a much easier jump to get to level four and then to level five. This is the most critical jump to get right. Now, the key role to hire that is going to help facilitate this and make this possible is who you hire to run operations. And so many companies get this wrong. We've seen so many companies or they have an operations manager, but the company can't grow because their operations manager isn't capable of managing leaders.
By the way, the category, if you look closely, folks, this is called winning the talent war.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a five-part series that we run. I'm trying to be as concise as possible in
Sure.
what takes 5 hours with the people in our program, but um, this is the most honestly, this is the most critical role, and that's what I really want to get across to people is we have to make sure that either the person that we promote into this role is the right person or the person that we're hiring for this role is the right person. Or this is going to be hard for a lot of people to hear. If you have the wrong person in this role and your gut's telling you this is the wrong person, you might want to think about transitioning them out of your company. And by the way, we can talk about this another time. That is a skill a lot of owners don't have,
Yeah.
is knowing when to fire people. But so,
They have that emotional connection to getting to the steps that they took. But that role requires someone to take the next steps. And you probably hit your pinnacle, and it's tough to let someone go, but it's tougher not to grow when you think about it.
mhm. 100%. And you're not doing your other staff any favors. Because if you have the wrong person in that job, most of the time, the wrong people that we see aren't actually that pleasant to be around.
Right.
So I can talk about some of the mistakes that we've seen and also some
Yeah.
of the commonalities of companies we've seen do this successfully.
Perfect.
So um, some of the mistakes that we see is when the owner hires a great project manager, they're slick people. They talk well, they talk a good game. All right. But as Patrick Lenciani says, you got to have people in your company who are humble, hungry, and smart. And what a lot of owners will do is they'll um, get excited when they find somebody who's hungry and smart, and they forget about the humble piece. Humble people, you can't build organizations if you don't have someone who is by nature a humble person who has integrity and they care more about other people than they do about themselves.
Yeah, there's a heart there. You don't
Servant
walk into
leaders.
the lunchroom and grab your plate, right? You make sure your team is taken care of.
Yeah. And if I'm going to be totally frank and honest, every single time I see somebody join our program who introduces me to their operations manager and the person sits down and starts machine gunning questions at us and trying to prove how smart they are, I can say with certainty that that company is not poised to grow.
Yeah,
Because if that person is talking to their staff like that, which they probably are, then you're going to have all these retention issues. The
yeah.
the best typical personalities that we see who execute these roles at a high level, they're calm, nice people. They have a lot of experience in the industry, and they have a high propensity to encouraging unit integrity. They want to build a company where it's not dependent on the owner. They want to build a company where people are involved in the company because they have a strong sense of purpose in being with each other. By the way, you read a lot of material out there that says, hey, you got to have a strong sense of purpose, a strong why in your company. In construction, the strongest companies that we've seen have a sense of purpose that is strictly around the team. People are in that company. Yeah, they want to build great projects. They love their craft, but they're in that company because of who they're working with.
Such an important statement. I want everyone to just think about what you just said. The team are the people you're working with. A lot of times we come to an organization for their reputation and for the owner. But how you phrase this is the core to success. It's the people you're working with. The team is working for the team, with the team. Uh, However large that team happens to be, that'll change. But that's a strong statement you really need to internalize. And if it's not landing for you, you're probably being defensive and protecting uh, yourself in a small way from growth.
Hmm. The next question that must be inferred from this is, okay, well, how do I encourage that unit integrity in my company? It's funny. What I'm about to say will be championed by people who have already done this well, and people who haven't done this yet might roll their eyes.
It'll get
They won't
resistance.
take it
Sure.
exactly. Um, there's tactical ways to handle an interview. There's tactical ways to um, uh, test somebody to see if they know what they're talking about. But the number one thing you absolutely must get right is that you hire people in your company from the laborer right on up to the operations manager to fall in alignment with your company's core values. That's super, super important. And I'm sorry for jumping around the slides here. Like I said, it's a program we run on winning the talent war. But generally, by the way, when people are in our program, if they're about to go hire an operations manager or promote someone into being an operations manager
Yes.
or test to see if someone is a good operations manager, this is the first thing that we come in and work with them on. Is this person in alignment with your core values and your organization's core values?
Very emotional.
And you can see why the project manager who, slick person, they're hungry and smart and not humble, right away, I can tell you they won't be in alignment with the core values of somebody who is a good leader and who has a vision to build up a wonderful organization that benefits staff, customers, and the community around. But it's tempting to hire this slick, smart person because you think they have all the answers and they can solve all your problems. But you got to do a core values check. And this is just a little chart we give people. We work with them on it. And a lot of times it's a gut check.
Yeah.
But, so everybody in your organization absolutely must be within your core values. And if you don't know what your core values are, um, Simon Sinek has some really great material on this. But yeah, just go with people you trust out into a nice retreat somewhere and really think through this because you got to get this right in your
Yep.
company. Yeah. Then finally, there's a lot here for bringing in the right project manager or the right operations manager, but this person absolutely must know how to lead leaders. And here's the thing, leadership is a skill that can be learned. Unless you grew up with a CEO for one parent and a psychiatrist for another, you're not going to understand how to be a leader. Most people don't understand. They have to learn it. And it's easier for you if the person that you're promoting into the role or hiring into the role already has strong leadership experience coming in. Now, how you test for that, here's some great questions that you can take people through to really assess if they know what leadership is. And you can read them on here, but just to kind of uh like this first question, who have you recently promoted? Why? What you're looking for? Are promotions merit based? Can this person get people promoted? Here's another question. How do you keep your stars challenged?
Yeah.
Every leader knows that they're going to get a lot. They have to really understand who their stars are and they have to keep them challenged and they keep them engaged. Inexperienced leaders will default to just ignoring those A players because they're easy. Those are the people you got to be focusing most of your energy on. But anyways, so these are some great questions to ask to see if somebody is a true leader.
My head always goes to Phil Jackson. He was a coach of the Bulls with Dennis Rodman and Michael Jordan, uh, managing such powerful leaders and having the calm to let their personality shine, but the focus to keep them challenged and working together, as you call it. Uh, that's a defining moment to have that happen, to really bring them together. Is tough with big personalities.
It is. It is. Uh, John Maxwell has this wonderful description of the called the five levels of leadership. And I think it's important for every owner to understand where their leaders fall within those five levels. You have level one, and most people never get out of level one. Level one is where the leader thinks everyone has to follow me because of the title on my business card and because I have the authority to fire them. You're not going to get very far.
Yeah,
Level two is where people will follow that person because of the knowledge that they have. So they know what they're talking about. Level three is where people will follow that person because of what they've done for the industry or what they've done for the company. And you want to have leaders in your organization who are at least level two or level three, because that'll form the baseline to having people in your organization who see their leaders as level four. And level four is exactly where every leader needs to get with the people who report to them, but it takes time. A
Yep.
level four leader is somebody who is followed because of what they've done for the people working for them. Okay. And level five, this is, reserved for those rare individuals who have built up organizations or divisions or in companies who operate autonomously without their leadership, and they benefit all those around them. A great
Right.
example of somebody who's done this well is a guy I know and we work with named Sean Sullivan with Livingstone Design Build in North Carolina. I think you know him too, Mark. He's a true level five leader, and he has built up a true self-managed company. Like I said, he sniper fired. I love this analogy, by the way. He sniper fired the right operations manager, eventually became this general manager into his company, and they are flying strong because he followed all these principles, hired based on core values. He made sure that this person already was a good leader, had a lot of great leadership experience coming into that role. He did good reference checks. That's something we didn't talk about. And he also executed great personality assessments because you need empirical data as well.
Right.
And he used an executive profiler to help with his decisions. So,
With the direction and the discipline that you guys have around finding this right person and grooming the right person for success, are you guys at Highspire also involved in some of the interviews, not just the training? Is that an aspect that gets embraced?
yeah, so that's a good point. So, Sean, when he won that, what was that award? The Builder of the Year with NHB. And when he won
Yeah.
that award, he thought, okay, things are about to change. And he had to put his person in the role as number two in his company, VP of Construction Operations. But to help him make that decision, we came into meetings with him. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
There are a few times in every entrepreneur's journey that like arc to growth that you see in these beautiful companies where they absolutely must know when to deploy resources and energy and the most opportune times. And this is one of them. Who you hire or who you're interviewing is so critical. And that's why during those times we'll actually come into the interviews and the meetings with those people to really increase the likelihood that we're going to make the right decision with them.
That's I would say unheard of. Um, but then again, this staple for success and wealth and team cohesiveness is also unheard of. So the fact that you're taking steps that are unheard of is if you're resistant to it again, ask yourself why, because this is what you need to embrace, and these are the muscles that you'll gather along the way to be able to have the strength.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, we have never, not once, seen a person not able to do this well. There's no mysterious force out there keeping you from doing the same thing. Never one, sometimes it takes longer, but it always works out for people if they follow the right steps.
Yeah. Following the right steps, winning the talent war, hiring the key role, right? Supporting the team. This is all what you're going to find when you're connecting and meeting the team at Highspire. Paul, remind everyone how easy it is to get a hold of you and the team.
Oh yeah, just go to our website, highspire.com, highspire.com, and it's very easy to click one of the many buttons in there, and we'll be in touch with you right away. I'm also very active on LinkedIn, so
Yes.
feel free to message me.
Please do that. You'll find Paul all over LinkedIn. I make it a point, not only are we connected, but I follow your posts. I think you know that. I always add a thumbs up to let you know that I read it. And then I save and share them too, because it's important to me that my network is reading it and getting it as well. It's real easy to do that, folks. You just press this little arrow on a post and it goes to your friends in the industry. Sharing is so easy these days. So I encourage everyone to meet you, Paul, and to look for you at conferences as I do. And I look forward to shaking your hand at the next conference.
Yeah, looking forward to it too, Mark. Thanks a lot. This was fun as always.